Okay, here I am by my favourite place in the entire world, the Business Studies Cornwall. I absolutely love it. But when I was looking at this Cornwall, it made me think of a topic that we're about to do. That topic is inflation. Now, inflation is a word you might have heard on the news, but it's basically to do with prices and prices going up. But is it to do with this Cornwall when I look at it? If Turbo Tango was to go up in price, is that inflation? Or if chocolate as a whole went up in price, is that inflation? That's what I want you to know by the end of this video. So the first thing you'll know by the end of this video is, what is the actual definition of inflation? Is just one product going up in price called inflation? Secondly, by the end of this video, I want you to know what might be the things that would cause prices to go up. And finally, I want you to know what's going on in the UK economy right now to do with inflation. What's the percentage of inflation in the UK? Has it been going up or down in the previous few years? That's what I want to know. So you're going to start off by watching a video on inflation. Okay, what's about to happen here is you're going to watch what can only be considered one of the greatest videos of all time. Enjoy.
Today we're going to talk about price stability. Price stability, as defined by the Governing Council of the European Central Bank, is the year-on-year increase in the harmonised index of consumer prices for the euro area of below 2%.
Excuse me, can you explain that in simpler terms, please?
Well, imagine a shopping basket filled with a broad range of products such as bread, tomatoes, milk, or things like shoes or computers. The price of this basket of goods is checked regularly, and the annual price increase, and in some rare cases a decrease, is calculated. Broadly speaking, if the increase is lower than 2%, then we have price stability. Is that clearer? Okay, let's start at the beginning. Why do we have money at all? Well, if we didn't, we'd all have to exchange things. How would a baker pay for a haircut? By offering the hairdresser some bread. But what if the hairdresser didn't want any? How would he get paid? It all gets very complicated. And that's how money came to be invented. It makes trade easier. But remember, it hasn't always kept its value. There were times when prices shot up.
Whoa! What's happened?
Where are we?
I don't know, but I'm hungry.
Look at those. Now then, what can we get for 4 coins?
What would you like?
2, please.
That's not enough.
You've increased the price. Why's that?
Because people have more to spend than there are goods to buy, the demand for my cakes has risen. And the price of flour has gone up. I have to pay the miller. And the price of wood for my oven has gone up too. It's more expensive for me to bake now. Next.
Don't worry, you just need more money.
Cool. Thanks a lot. I don't believe it. He keeps on putting his prices up.
We'll never be able to buy anything here.
Well then, you'd better have more money.
Wait a second. I know you. You're inflation.
Well done. Because you're so clever, I'm going to give everyone here a cash prize.
No, don't!
Wow, this is great!
No, it's not. If there's too much money around for the same number of products, it pushes up prices and money loses its value.
Look what he's asking for that. It's more expensive than it was last month. I used to be able to afford it, but now I can't. Prices are going up all the time, but my pension isn't. And my savings are losing value every day. It's always the less well-off who suffer in times like these.
So that's what inflation's all about. And once it's started, it seems difficult to stop. Here it comes again. Let's get out of here.
Okay, here we are on the BBC website, and I've typed in inflation, so I want you to do the exact same thing. Right, there are 3 things I want you to look at today. One is the personal inflation calculator, so I just clicked on that. It'll come up now. Now, this will let you show you what your inflation rate would be for you, and this is important because it shows you that different people will have different inflation rates depending on what things they buy. Right, the second thing I want you to do is go to this Q&A, Inflation Explained. Now I know some of you are going to look at this and go, oh, sir, there's quite a lot right in there. I'm not sure whether that's for me. But I want you to properly read it and try and see the difference, for example, here where it's between RPI and CPI, and also why inflation is important and how it's calculated. You really need to read that bit. Now the third thing I want you to do, and this is fun, is go to the economy tracker and look at inflation in the UK. Now there is a graph showing inflation in the UK from 2000 to 2013. I want you to come to the lesson knowing potentially why inflation has been going up and down during those periods. Right, I hope you actually feel like you know a little bit about inflation now that you didn't know before, so you should be ready for the lesson. Now these are the questions I expect you to know before the lesson. First one is, what is the definition of inflation? Secondly, what causes inflation? And finally, how high is inflation in the UK right now? I look forward to seeing you in the lesson.